Greetings and salutations, how's everyone doing? So looking at the episode of The Mandalorian with episode The Jedi. What happened in this episode? Well, this episode was the introduction of the character Ahsoka Tano, in which, she is trying to get information from a individual who is taking over a village. And then in a way she's trying to say, and then Mando shows up and says, okay, I need help with information and all that. So basically she goes saying, will you kill this Jedi for me? And all that. So eventually that's how Ahsoka and Mando would eventually, or Din Djarin, would meet. It would also be the episode that introduced the child's real name being Grogu. And yes, at times, even, say, at the times we go say, oh! we thought it was pretty cool. This episode would also introduce some things in the fact that, the character that, Ahsoka, she was, looking for someone, was, in this case, Admiral Thrawn. And, yeah, I gotta say that Rosario Dawson, she does a really good job of bringing the character to live action. She does a great job, what we had with the, Rebels, and then having a really good transfer to over here in live action. And especially the fact this episode had been nominated for it and won several awards, including 8 Primetime Emmy Award nominations. And this show, especially in the fact that Ahsoka was trying to find Admiral Thrawn, would lead into the spin-off show Ahsoka. And this episode was actually directed by Dave Filoni. And I gotta say, this episode has a lot of vibes from a Akira Kurosawa film. Whether it is the lighting, the use of color, which is very muted, or say there's a shot in which Ahsoka is going up against Morgan Elsbeth, when they're both having their fight. One character, sitting here, and everyone character standing there. It was really good. The acting is really good.
False alarm.
In the sequence in which, Mando is basically say, hey, you want this little, part of the, ship, Grogu? And they because they're trying to get Grogu to use the Force. And at first, Ahsoka's saying, I can't teach him. Anyway, because, you two have too much of a connection that if something happened, it would be kind of hard to have that connection with him as, Jedi and Padawan, in a way. So, yeah, I thought this episode was really good. Yeah.